Hi friends, it's Linda. I am back with my little cutie nursing journal, and I thought we would work on it together today and do a little bit of making pockets, ephemera, and do some finishing touches. So if you remember, I was making two. The other one is finished, and this one I set aside so that we could do a little bit of it together. So let's get started. I thought the first thing we would do is the first thing that I do on a journal when I get this far. Once I get the signatures done, I start doing pockets. And there's a little bit of a mathematical equation for me. What I try to do is divide it up into signatures. Now this is a one signature journal, so what I'll do is I try to have it just about as many pockets on the first half of the signature as I do in the second half of the signature. And I mean, you don't have to do that. You can be totally random about it, but having a little bit of a formula helps me in my creative process to kind of know where to go next. So I usually will start with pockets, and then that will help me figure out what ephemera that I need to make. So I almost always have a front pocket that is designed and put in when I do the journal cover. And then I typically will have cardstock for my first page of my signature. So that's a great, anytime you've got cardstock, that's an excellent place for a pocket because it's got some stability. You can put a pocket just about anywhere, but you always have to be mindful of how thin or delicate your pages are, how much glue, how much weight they will support. So I want to start there with my pocket. When I do pockets in a journal, I try to have several different styles of pockets as well to add interest. So another thing I will do is I will often have them semi-symmetrical. Not semi-symmetrical, but sometimes I try to make them symmetrical. I don't always do that. So, you know, whatever you have on one side, you have on the other. So typically I will make these similar, like so that they are kind of meet each other. So I decided to do your basic, very most basic triangle pocket on these, on the front and back here. So all I'm gonna do, you can measure it, you can cut it on your cutter. I'm an eyeballer, so I typically just go for it and hope for the best, knowing they're not going to be perfect, but I am so okay with that. Okay, so very simple. Some people also will put, make a top and bottom or a two-sided flap onto the side so that they are a little more sturdy and will hold a little bit more. And on a larger journal, I might be more likely to do that. On these small ones, I think I do fine with just the simple triangle and not flaps. So I'm just gonna use my, I'm sorry if I'm like up in your face there. I hope I'm at a good camera angle. So I'm just gonna put my art glitter glue, which is typically what I use when I adhere pockets because it is, it grips so well. You just have to make sure it's not very repositionable, so you just gotta make sure you've got it where you want it when you glue it down. Okay, so got that. So while I have that, I'm just gonna go to the back and I'm gonna go ahead and put my kind of matching sister pocket on the back. Sometimes I feel that it gives my journals a little bit of a sense of continuity or organization. Whoop. To have the pockets be a little bit symmetrical, especially like with the front and back signature. Sometimes I leave just a little bit. I don't go all the way to the edge. It just kind of depends. That does not bother me. I feel like it frames it just a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna come back. And then what I can do is decorate this. Now I could have decorated it before I glued it in, but in this case I knew my decoration was gonna be fairly simple, so I really didn't have to do that. So I'm just gonna make a simple cluster. And I'm going to use this postage stamp, which I need to trim down a little bit more. These scissors are a hoot. I have had them, I don't know if I got them when I was a Girl Scout leader or for my kids, but I can tell you that they're like a gazillion years old and they don't cut very well. But the only one that I have left that I actually do use is the one I use on postage stamps. So typically, I don't mind that it kind of distresses it a little bit by not cutting well. Okay, so I have that little piece. I have a little Tracy tag. I'm just gonna do a little cluster here. Hopefully I don't put you to sleep by doing this little bit of distressing here and there. I try not to do too much of that on screen. And then to make it a trio, I like to do things in threes. I'm going to go to my little, I don't want to blind you by the glare. I'll go to my little embellishments that I pulled out for this journal. My little fun little antique tin. And I'm going to pull that out. My little bling bling. Okay, so let's just arrange this. I need a, here we go. Whoops. I'm just going to pin this back a little bit so it doesn't keep falling into our so the book doesn't keep closing up. I have found in doing these few process videos that I'm a person who can't always talk while I'm in the middle of doing something. So that's a little bit of a challenge. Okay, so I'm just gonna put you there. Put a little glue on you. I apologize if I'm not in screen today. I feel like I might have the camera a little too close, but hopefully it'll be okay. And we're gonna put you there. Whoop, down just a little bit. Don't want you hanging out over the edge. Okay. And then I am going to, even though this has a little bit of adhesive on the back, it certainly needs a little bit more glue. Okay, so where do I want it? Do I want it there? Do I want it here? Do I want it here? Let's put it here. Okay. Okay, so I have my little pocket. Put my lid back on my glue. And then let's make a little tag to put in there. Okay, so I'm going to scoot the book forward. And let's make a tag. So since it's a nursing journal, I have printed out a public domain picture of Florence Nightingale and of the Florence Nightingale Pledge, which is a bit of a pledge for nurses. So what I want to do is I'm going to cut around her. I'm gonna fussy cut her out for my tag. So I don't know if any of you have been watching the A to Z crafting, summer crafting collaboration that Rach and Bella Crafts is doing and Line Dot Arrow. And there's just a ton of crafters who are involved who are doing, well, I guess 26. The letters of the alphabet, and I've been following along, and it's been really fun. Some really great ideas, and some people that I didn't already follow that I've kind of discovered. So the best way to find out about that is to go to Rach and Bella Crafts YouTube channel and her A video, and it kind of announces the whole collaboration, and she's got a link to absolutely all of the videos as they come out. I think today the latest video to come out was the letter I. And if you watch all of the videos and subscribe to the channels, leave a comments and such, there's gonna be some really fun giveaways. So I have followed those collaborations before, and I always get really, really good ideas. So I encourage you to do that. So I'm just gonna distress her a little bit, give her a little more of a finished look and less like I cut her off of a piece of paper. And then I'm just gonna go around this just a little bit and just even up those, even up the edges. I just made that one and that one a little more crooked. Oh boy. Dear me, not cutting straight today. That's okay. Okay, because I'm gonna distress this too. And like I've said, you don't have to distress if that's not your thing. Some people just are like, why do people have to distress everything? And it partially, it depends on the journal you're making. Some journals just need to be brighter and not dingy around the edges. Some you just need to grunge up or make them look a little bit old. You know, Florence Nightingale lived a long time ago, so, and a lot of the style of this journal is vintage. I'm just gonna, so I'm just dressing it up. I'm not gonna do a lot to this tag. It's gonna be very simple. Whoop, I'm shaking you, I'm sorry. I'll try not to have my elbows on the table when I do this. Just gonna do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Some tags can be just like this without anything else on it. It just depends on how much decorating you want to do in a journal. I tend to decorate a little too much maybe. It kind of depends on the journal. I try not to. Because you want, if you sell your journals, you want the person to be able to make it their own and to do that themselves. If you, and if you're making it for yourself, you may or may not want to do all the decorating when you make it. You might want to save that for journaling throughout the month. Doing a page spread here and a page spread there. Now, I'm going to make Flo a little bit of a tuck spot. I'm just going to glue her lower half to the tag and allow her, sorry, I don't think I was in, and allow her pledge to tuck in behind her. So that's going to tuck in just like that. And then I am just going to put a little topper. I found, so funny, I wasn't, I just happened upon this sweet little fabric when I was just straightening things up after I started these journals, and I thought, oh, that's cute. So I dipped it in my coffee cup and just made it it was really bright white, and it's not quite as bright white. So I just made it a little bit more vintage looking, and I'm just gonna put this topper on here. I don't put toppers on all of my tags. It does add bulk, but sometimes I like for the topper or the ribbon to stick out the top and add to the decoration. I'm gonna give that a little bit of a trim. Okay, so let's pull this back and let's just tuck her in. And then these will stick out the top. Like this. Okay. And if you want to, you know, you can glue her a little bit down. I could have put a magnet on or whatever, but I just kind of like her like that. So there's one page. All right, so the next type of pocket we're gonna do, I showed you the triangle pockets. So I chose another page that was a bit sturdy. Let's find it. I put a Post-it note on it so I could easily find it. She said as she's thumbing through. Okay, all right. So here again, this is the center of the signature, and it's a very thick page. This is that calendar paper that I had found. So I'm using this solid heavy page for my biggest and heaviest pocket. So I'm just gonna put this here to kind of hold that open. Pull my little notes off there. And I made a little pile of goodness here. This one we're gonna make out of a book page. And it's gonna, I'm gonna push you up a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. I almost don't fit here. So this is just a book page. And I'm gonna go around it and distress it a little bit, which I could have done before this started, but I didn't think to. Just gonna go around a little bit. You can still go around it after you folded it, but I just wanted to give it a little head start here. So any book page, I do try to make sure if it's a Dollar Tree book or depending on the book that doesn't say anything that I don't really want to say or have seen. Sometimes there's bad words or just violent sentences or you know, whatever that you're not thrilled about. But anyway, okay, so I'm going to do this fold. I'm going to make sure I'm all in. And this is one that I will put in the description box exactly where this is in the video in case you ever want to flip to just where this is, in case you want to just make this part of it. Okay, so you can see I'm bringing that up and just folding it. Okay, here's the book page. I'll push you up a little bit, friend. There we go. Okay, bringing it up. There's no measuring that you have to do. I could go up even a little higher. I think I will, right there. I'm gonna fold it. Okay, and then I'm just gonna turn this over. You see this way. Are you kidding me? That just tucks right in there, right? One more time. Fold it this way. Hold it sideways. Bring the both ends in. It flaps in. You have a little bit of leeway as to how wide you make it, but you at least want this to be all the way inside. But I could make it like this. I could make it smaller. I'm gonna make it, let's see what we got here. 8. I'm gonna make it about right there. Sorry, I was just using my measurement. I wanted to make it about 4 inches. Okay, you just do this. Okay, so now what you have is a pocket here, a pocket here, a pocket here, a pocket here, pocket back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that crazy? Isn't that great? Love this. Can't remember where I saw it for the very first time, but it was a video that I kept going back to. If I can find the initial video somewhere back in the history, I will credit, because I make one, not in every journal, but as often as I can. And you know, I decided to make it in this journal because I thought it kind of reminded me of a nurse's pocket equipment. It kind of reminds me of my little vinyl and fabric thing that I used to keep in my pocket with my, you know, it had a little holder for my my scissors and just, you know, different things fit in there. So Band-Aids and alcohol pads and such. So I thought that was fun. And then it just goes on the page. You can cut these off if you don't like that triangle look, or you can just leave them. I usually just leave them. They don't bother me. Sometimes it depends what I put in there. I might decide to fold it. You know, to fold it under like this to make it flat, especially like if it hangs over the page or whatever. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some glue and put it on my page. You can decorate it first if you wanna decorate it first. I typically put things down and then decorate them, but that's just me. So I hope I'm in frame. I'm just putting a little glue for top and bottom there. The main, whoopsie. Just trying to show you, but I don't know if I'm, okay, just doing that. That's the only thing you have to glue. And then I'm gonna put glue just on the sides and across the bottom. I'm gonna leave the center open, this whole center open, so that it can be a big pocket along the back. Okay. I'll put that down. And then we're gonna do a little bit of filling and decorating. So sometimes what I do is I like to add a little bit of bits of trim here and there. Now I'm gonna lay these on here and kind of see how I like them. Oh, this way, right? Yeah. Okay, so I chose that little bit of trim and this little bit of trim and this little bit of trim. Oh, this is going to be a little different. Let's see, this little bit of trim. Yeah, let's do that. How about that? Is that kind of cute? Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so I'm just gonna snip this and glue it. At a little angle. Now, I could use Fabri-Tac. But I'm just gonna use this art glitter because I didn't put the lid on it and it's still sitting there, so, right? Is it right? No? Did I do that this way? Yowza. Oh, did I put it on the wrong side, maybe? My angles aren't gonna be very good here. No, that's good. That's good. Scared myself there a little bit. Okay. Okay. A little bit of a hang there. Sorry. think I'm gonna need to sneak a little more glue under there. Where am I in the scheme of things here? Yeah, that's why this was doubled, like it was a seam binding. So it, there we go, didn't get the glue through all the layers. Okay, now that goes this here, right? Yep. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue around the edge of this. You could sew this on, which I do that sometimes, but I wanted to make it all on camera, so I didn't do any sewing. There's probably less sewing in this journal than there is in a lot of my journals, although that being said, the cover's sewn, and I did make a ruffle, but I didn't do a lot of sewing on the individual pages. Okay, let's get you on there, little friend. I'll pull you out a little bit. Pull you down a little bit. Just want to slide my ruler in there to get that to lay down. Ooh, sorry, a little crooked. Okay. Okay. I might trim that just a little bit, we'll see. Sorry, that's taken too long there. Usually that goes a little faster. Okay, and then I'm just gonna, here, I'm just gonna put this right there. I love rickrack. Isn't it the best? You know, I grew up in the 70s, so in the late 60s and 70s, and my mom used to hand make some of my clothes, and I just remember rickrack being a thing, and I always loved it. I still do, and I buy it whenever I find it at estate sales and such. Well, you can buy it new as well, but I especially love it if it's vintage or something extra special about that. So, okay, so I'm gonna do one more little thing. I'm gonna just decorate this little corner just a little bit, and I think I'm gonna do a little cluster again. And you're gonna see a little pattern developing. I tend to like to use postage stamps, whether they're actual postage stamps or copies of, or digitals of, sorry, I'm using my little kitty scissors here. I often use, if it's just a cluster, I often use postage stamps because I myself like the look of the postage stamps, and they are just easy to create a fun little collage with. So this is a little big. I'm liking the look of this little gauzy cheesecloth in here because it kind of reminds me of gauze, since it's a nurse journal. That's kind of fun. All right, so I want that to be just kind of frayed and a little bit nutty looking. Okay. I'm gonna cut it one more time. It doesn't have to be quite that big. I had already kind of gotten it cut on that side anyway. Oh boy. We are frayed. Okay. We'll try to get the majority of the frays going out that way. Yeah, I like that. We're gonna put this happy little nurse right there. I apologize if my hands are getting in the way. And I apologize for apologizing. I'm an apologizer. My husband always says, why are you apologizing? Like, I don't know, I bumped into you. I just do that. Oh, goodness. funny, the things we do. Okay, now I'm gonna glue this smiling nurse down. Okay. Alrighty. And I think I'm gonna do one more little fun thing. I have some Band-Aids that I pulled out of my first aid box, and I thought they would be fun to use in this journal. I think I'm just gonna, should I put it here? Where should I put this? Where should I put it? Oh dear. Decisions, right? No, don't like that. Uh-oh, come on up. Thank you. Where do I want it? I'm just gonna run it right along here. Okay. I don't know why. Anywhere's fine. It's just cute that it's a Band-Aid. Okay, now what are we gonna put in these pockets? I have some coffee dyed tags here. And let's get rid of some of our little trash. And let's rubber stamp. I have a couple of, this says take 1 pill and 20 hugs daily. It's a little prescription bottle. That's an old Stampin' Up stamp, and this one says Earth Angels, which I think nurses can be. I am going to put the lid on my glue so we don't have a blockage. Okay. All right. Now let's rubber stamp. Let me find I have my stamp pad. It's a little stamp, so you can go pad to stamp on a big one, and sometimes that works a little better. But this little tiny stamp, I can just walk it across the stamp pad. Okay, and then I'm gonna do Earth Angels. And put that one on here. Okay, sorry if that was off. I think it was off camera. Okay. And I'm just gonna separate these two, I think, and put them in here. Okay. And let's get something to put in the very back. And I pulled out from my scrapbook stashes this fun vintage time card, and I am honestly not going to do anything to it other than fold it up to make it fit. Sorry, I'm off camera again. Sometimes I will do a lot of decorating on these, but I think just sticking up in the back a time card is fun, just in and of itself. Okay, although I am going to have to make a little bit of a double fold here because I didn't fold it up high enough. Okay. So it's still kind of cute. It'll fold down and you can see the in and out and the punches on there. And a person could journal on this or decorate it, but I think it looks cute just in this, in the back of this pocket. And then we'll do another tag for this pocket, and we'll have one that is empty. So I'm gonna make this other tag. I'm gonna scoot you up a little bit, and let's make this tag. Okay, do something kind of fun on this one. And I have this crazy Barbie image, this nurse Barbie with those funky glasses. I think she's a hoot. You could think of a lot of different things that she could be saying. I'm going to cut her out. I usually don't use quite as many images that I've just printed out of my computer. And I do always check to make sure that the images are out there for the public to use and not something that is part of someone's digital or came from someplace that you need to purchase it. So that is the only drawback with finding your own images, is you really have to do some investigating. But some of these images I have had in my stash for probably 15 years or better, because I've used them to make cards and such for my co-workers and stuff when I worked. Okay, I'm just gonna grunge her just a little bit. And let's see. We are going to take this tag, and I'm not thrilled with another solid background, so I am gonna put a different background on this. So let's just glue that on. I'm gonna grab a book page for gluing and use glue stick. I use the Yoo-Hoo. I've used Yoo-Hoo forever and ever. The art store here in St. Louis, and they are online now, that I get a lot of my rubber stamps from, and who really, they used to have, since they were local, they had lots of crafting classes. I literally learned so much from them, and that is Red Lead Paperworks. You can go to redleadpaperworks.com and find them. But anyway, they are the ones that first got me started on Yoo-Hoo, because they did paper crafts professionally, and that was all they used. And so, of course, I started using it at that point and never looked back. You will see that I did reinforce the edges with the art glitter glue. I do that for journals that I'm probably going to sell, because there is a tendency for some, I'm going to trim it a little bit, for some glue sticks to lift in the corners, and I don't want that to happen in any of the ephemera that I make to sell, so I will reinforce the edges. I just saw something today, a video that Corey Dahmer was doing, creating with scraps, and it was part of that A to Z collaboration. She's taken part in that, and she was using a hair straightener iron, hair straightening iron, and she just would go make it, you know, she had it plugged in and would do this and heat it just to reactivate the glue stick, and she felt like it helped the glue stick to stick better. It was something I had never seen before. I thought that was pretty interesting. She also said you could use a laminating machine if you have that, but I don't have that. But I may still have a hair. I have really naturally curly hair, and I have used straighteners before, but I don't know if I still have it. I've just kind of gone with, stopped fighting the curl, and have been wearing it curly now for quite a while. So I have a little sentiment that I printed out that is really cute. And of course, it's not at my fingertips now. And I was going to put that on the bottom here. So, and let's see, where are you? Here it is. Or is this the one? Let me see. Yeah. Okay. Can you see what that says? That is so inappropriate, but so funny. Okay, so I am going to cut out these words. I don't want to offend anybody. I should say that since I'm a nurse, I am prone to having a twisted sense of humor, which is kind of comes with the profession. If you didn't have one when you started out, you develop one as you go along. So, get you through some of the rough spots if you can find things to laugh about. And honestly, the whole concept of these, if you can see the words that I'm putting down there, is a bit of a vintage thought. They don't really do those like they used to. They used to, just about any time you'd go in the hospital, you'd end up getting that, and especially when you would come in to have a baby, they would do it. I gotta trim this. It's making me crazy. Sorry. It's just too much. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna use the glue stick. I don't like to use the Yoo-hoo. I don't like to use the art glitter glue in the center because sometimes it leaves you can kind of see it. So I only like it around the edges. And I just wanted to make sure it's down in the center as well. So I use both. All right, so we're gonna go about right here. Put you down. Are you straight? Okay. All right, let's gotta go around these little words just a tiny bit. I love a good snarky comment too. I made some journals a while back where there were a lot of tags in it that had snarky comments from the Tim Holtz. It's a Tim Holtz tablet, or kind of a tablet with words in it, and lots of snarky sayings that some of them aren't very nice, but they're funny. Some are nicer than others, but I love that. I love using those snarky comments. Okay, let's do this. Sorry. So I don't know how long I've been going here. I'm trying not to make these videos too long because I don't want to chase you guys away. I appreciate my subscribers because it's not easy sometimes watching a person's videos when they're new and they're not real smooth, or they're too long, or they're this or they're that. So thank you for coming along with me on this journey of a new channel. And let me know, please, if you want to see more things, want to see me make things, and if there's things in particular that would be of interest. I would love to make things that you want to see, so let me know. So I think I'm just going to tie this on here like this and just make kind of a little bow like that. So what do you think? We're going to put her in the pocket. Let's bring you down. Now let's just put her sticking up right there with her sassy self and those glasses. She's a riot. Okay, so let's see. Do we have time for one more page? No, I need to quit. I think we're getting too long. So I was going to do one more page, but I'm just going to show you, I think, what I was going to do rather than do the whole page, because I didn't want to go much over 40 minutes here. So my last page that I was going to show you is a paper bag. Okay, so put the paper bag here. I'm going to cut it and put it in such a way that a tag will go inside of here. Now this will be shorter. A tag will go inside, 2 tags will tuck in here, and I have an altered Project Life card with this Barbie lady, Barbie nurse, who is going to go there. So this is roughly what it's going to look like, and then there will be another, some more decoration here. I think I had another little cluster, but this one doesn't. It involves a Band-Aid and a number and something else. Oh, I think a gem. It doesn't have a postage stamp on this one. And then I have some lace, some navy lace that's going to go on the tags and on this topper. So that is the other page. In the front and in the back of each signature, I try to have a multi-pocket interactional, that's not the right word, you know, a multi-pocket dimensional page. So I wanted to show you both of them. So the first one was this one, and then for this end of the signature, back of the signature, second half, it's going to be this one. And then I showed you the triangle pockets. So sorry we didn't get to make that, but I don't want this video to be too long. I could do one more video and show you some finishing touches. I am going to bead and make dangles on the center, but I think what I will do is I will make a separate process video where I just show you how to do, how to bead and make dangles for signatures and add charms and do those kinds of finishing touches. So I'll just make that another video at another time. So basically, we're just gonna call this little make a little cutie journal with me series completed. And so the next thing you will see will be the flip through of the 2 finished journals. And I will just do another process video, and we can make you know, whatever you're the most interested in seeing. Do you want to see ephemera pieces made? Collage masterboards for journals? Do you want to see beads and dangles? Let me know in the comments what is of the most interest to you that you would like to see process videos. And if it's something that I can do, I would love to share that with you. So thanks for crafting along with me today and for crafting along with me in this series. And I will see you in the next video. Okay, thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.